These old Egyptians felt that in order to describe this purpose fittingly, they must reach out and make use of those bright groups of stars that ever shine in the firmament. Hence it would appear that in the beginning, written characters were brought down to the earth from the vault of heaven. We must thus regard Hermes, the great wise one, who according to Egyptian tradition lived upon the earth in the dawn of antiquity, and was endowed with the most profound clairvoyant insight concerning the human being's relation to the universe, as having possessed, to a high degree, the power of apprehending and explaining the true nature of the connection between the constellations and the forces of the spirit world, and of interpreting the signs portraying events and happenings as expressed in the language of the stars in terms of their mysterious interrelations. Now, if in those olden days it was desired to enlighten the people with regard to the nature of the bond existing between Osiris and Isis, this matter was put forward in the form of an exoteric legend. But in the case of the initiates, the subject was treated more explicitly by means of symbolic reference to the light that emanates from the sun and is reflected by the moon, and the remarkable conditions governing its changes during the varying phases of the latter. In these phenomena, the Egyptians found a practical and genuine analogy, expressive of the sacred link between the Isis force within the human soul and that supreme spiritual figure, Osiris. From the movements of the heavenly bodies and the nature of their interrelations, there originated what we must regard as the very earliest form of written characters. Little as this fact is yet recognized, we would nevertheless draw attention to the following statement. If we consider the consonants of the alphabet, we note that they imitate the signs of the zodiac in their comparative repose, while the vowels and consonants are connected in a way that may be likened to the relationship that the planets and the forces which move them bear to the constellations of the zodiac as a whole. The sentiments that moved the ancient Egyptians when their thoughts turned to Hermes were such as we have described, and they realized that his great illumination came from those spiritual powers that called to him out of the heavens, prompting him with counsel concerning that activity which persisted in the souls of humankind. And more than that, he was instructed even in the deeds of everyday life, and in those directions in which such sciences as geometry and surveying were needed. Both of these Pythagoras learned from the Egyptians, who ascribed all this knowledge to the primordial wisdom of Hermes. One might say that the old wise one saw in the interrelation of all things spread abroad upon the earth a counterpart of that which exists in the firmament and finds expression in the mystic writings of the stars. It was the thrice blessed Hermes who first gave this stellar script to the world, and through its aid and in the dawn of Egyptian life instilled into the minds of the people the elements of the science of mathematics, while he adjured them to look up to the heavens, there to seek guidance even regarding mundane matters.